Leon Johnson. I'm from Detroit, Michigan, originally from Cape Town, South Africa, and I'm in residence from August 12th through October 29th, 2014. I spent the first 20 years of my life in Cape Town, South Africa, born in the southernmost tip, and from a relatively young age, in a culture where information was heavily controlled, the apartheid state, something that compelled me early on was the poster, particularly the political poster. And so I ended up studying graphic design, undergraduate, specifically to gather the toolkit to make posters so I could participate that way and continue to love the power and the simplicity of the poster. For me, it's always going to be critical to have the opportunity for conversations. The opportunity to sit in a classroom today with 40 South Omaha magnet high school students who self-identify as design-focused. The opening image I showed today was an image of me at 17, getting ready to leave South Africa, training as a graphic designer in a context where political communications were loaded. The church and the state controlled newspapers. And if you're going to function in a context about making posters, for us, looking at examples that were coming out of America, the Art Workers Coalition, posters about Vietnam, one legendary poster called And Babies about the My Lai massacre was very important to us, or then stuff a little later happening in El Salvador or Chile. You get a sense of what's at stake, and you don't have to wait. Something I spoke about today to them was not waiting for permission to act, or feeling like you have a suitable toolkit. The beauty of making communications is that you can act. You can act without permission, preferably without permission, and you can act without support, and you can act in loneliness and isolation. After 3.5 complicated, dense years in Detroit, thrilling as well as very, very hard, and the launching of a printing press and bookbindery and a pop-up restaurant, I have to be honest, in considering residencies, I imagine coming to Omar partly therapeutically, partly to recover and reclaim some sort of center with the work. So traditionally, I don't think of myself as a studio artist. I tend not to work in isolation. I don't need space and quiet in the ways one might think about studio space. But in this instance of sort of recovery, repair, and therapeutic production, it was ideal. I sensed some opportunities regarding the city and history, some even that parallel some of my interests in Detroit in terms of populations, labor, the history of labor in the city, factory. Already a number of collaborations have emerged. We're doing a collaborative dinner, we're building bowls, and so working with Bemis support and fellows, we've been able to produce 2 dinner services. And then working with another collaborator, Alex Rosenberg, in Philadelphia, wine glasses will arrive, hand-blown, end of this week, early next week. I've completed almost 100 works on paper. I was able to ship 50 pieces my first 5 weeks for a show in Detroit. It makes for a magical time, and part of our duty here is to build a contract between isolation and focus and community and then outer communities. I like the skills involved in balancing and developing that, so it's rich, extraordinarily rich.